record straight and be clear about what happened and what we're doing next. So some people say, well, you said you got, well, a few people said you said you got fired, but then some people say that you quit. So which one was it? It was both. Because I was given an ultimatum that if I did not stop posting on my social media, then the company would have to let me go. So I had to tell them a choice. Do you choose to stop speaking on your social media? Stop being an influencer. Stop speaking about black issues. Do you choose to stop speaking on your social media? Stop being an influencer. Stop speaking about black issues, or you will be fired.
Hey, all gravity, any day above ground living. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your Saturday. Today will be a teachable moment. This is what's called a grift. And luckily for us, the Most High gave us this grift in real time so you can see the telltale signs. Because I know a lot of times people find out about the grift after it's already been perpetuated. Sir, we're going to help you out with this. Now, for those who don't know, this is that black MAGA preacher that was on the Jubilee debate with Amanda Seals. He was the second one that went up. And he kept saying that black culture is toxic. And, you know, he also invoked Martin Luther King because, you know, all them black conservatives do that. So he claims that he got fired from his job because he was speaking conservative values. I'm going to let him say it.
Or you can quit. Or you can leave right here. If you're not going to stop speaking, we will not let you do this as a school. I told them.
You mean your teacher contract probably had specific guidelines about what you post on social media?
I would think about it. That's really what because I thought about not doing it. So a few days went by, and the first day I got called into a meeting and was basically called incompetent after that original meeting by my vice principal. So I saw how this was going to go. I saw that this was going to be a situation where they were going to fire me. They were trying to find a reason.
Sir, just like with old boy we covered last weekend, who robbed his job for food. They already had a reason. They already had the documentation. They just wanted to see if you were going to relent or are you going to take a chance and move on. This is the same thing Amrul Foodle went through with Homeland Security. They found out what he was doing. They gave him an option to stop it. He kept doing it. Then they called him in the meeting and said, listen, you can't do both because we have specific guidelines on social media. That's why you don't see a lot of Homeland Security people posting online because they would lose their job. You were warned. Stay off social media with your stuff because you're tied to us. This fool wasn't even smart enough to create a burner account. Now you on here crying. Cry harder.
Black Democrat women, they did not want me there.
Black Democrat women. That's what he said.
I want to say.
Black Democrat women. Huh.
Went by, I saw that this was going to be a situation where they were going to fire me. They were trying to find a reason. They are black Democrat women. They did not want me there.
Yet they allowed you to teach. Okay.
But they didn't just want to just let me go in that meeting because they were trying to cover themselves.
Yes, sir. Let me help you and you black conservatives that don't understand how contracts work. Because we're going to show you later, he claimed he got a lawsuit started. But when you're under contract, again, you have specific rules that you have to follow to honor that contract and get paid what you have agreed on with the entity. They fired you because you broke it, right? Listen to what he just said.
Find a reason. They are black Democrat women. They did not want me there.
So you slandered them. This will be good for their in-house lawyers.
But they didn't just want to just let me go in that meeting because they were trying to cover themselves.
Okay, they didn't want you to, so they called you for a meeting and then didn't want to let you in the meeting. So you slandered them again. Okay, you're right. They didn't want you there anymore because you were bringing undue attention to that school.
I saw the writing on the wall. They had one final meeting they were planning on having with me at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I knew exactly what that meeting was because they told me not to report into work. So
Correct. They don't want you around them kids when they're going to have to pull you out of the class. Logic.
you do the math. And
That's called logic. Now, if you want to use it as a math term, that's fine. That's more critical thinking skills, but okay, you got it.
so I told them that I would not stop speaking and that I was cleaning out my room.
Very good. So you're taking it upon yourself to make sure that you have something else lined up and you have enough means to take care of yourself.
So I want to clear it up for everybody.
Sir, you spent 2 minutes clearing it up and you didn't clear nothing up.
And tell you that moving forward, what we are doing is we're looking at legal.
Who is we? You finna tell us who this we is.
Different legal things. We're looking at law. We're talking to lawyers because we were discriminated against. We were bullied. But the problem is we need to get this to the legislator. We need to get this to DeSantis.
So hold up. Can we bring it back? Wasn't this the same dude who in front of Amanda Seals all the way out in liberal Los Angeles, the city of angels, the city of stars, Hollywood, where you can get a street taco for $1.49 and a Fanta for $7.67. Was this not the same dude who said that black people need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, that black people need to stop looking to the white man for help? Was this not the same dude? We all heard it. We got to stop begging the white man for everything. Which, number one, we can tell he hasn't been around black people because most black people do not beg the white man for anything. But number two, how you gonna tell us not to blame the white man for everything and don't ask the white man for everything? And here you are asking the white man to help you with your case, boy. I keep telling y'all, when they on YouTube, they talk different. When they get the X, they are meek. And that's why nowadays you're watching these black conservatives on Twitter put up posts and they're getting lambasted. Continue, sir. Beg the white man for more help.
Because there are so many laws in Florida that protect against discrimination on political beliefs.
Keep going.
In our civil rights laws in Florida, the protected category is
Mm-hmm.
dicey if political speech is on there.
Oh, political speech is on there. Wrong again, sir. You know nothing about law. We gonna help you. Number one, DeSantis is not going to take your case because that's a private entity. They have different rules. They're not the public school system. You might have had a shot if you were working for St. John or Duval County. You might have had a shot. Number two, your political beliefs are covered in the First Amendment. They are not covered, though, when you go inside a private establishment. I know that sounds weird, but if you studied the law and you studied the Constitution, you will understand that. That's why you have so many problems on social media, people saying that I'm getting banned for saying things that are supposed to be protected under the First Amendment, yet they keep forgetting that they also have Section 230. You signed a term and condition when you came on this site. Pause. You knew what the rules were. You can't plead ignorance now that you lost your job. Continue.
In in our civil rights laws in Florida, the protected category is dicey if political speech is on there.
Correct, because they want this Satan and the rest of his cronies want to make sure that Florida people that are racist can go off on everybody else and can't get prosecuted for it. You're basically telling us that your former school is going to win in court and you're going to have to pay for the rest of your life.
But it needs to change because we need to protect political speech. You should not be able to be fired for being a black or forced to resign for being a black.
A black. He said it. A black.
Political speech. You should not be able to be fired for being a black or forced to resign for being a black conservative.
A black. I'm starting to think he ain't from this land. But it's funny that he said that, political speech. It perked my ears up a little bit. I said, why would you just bring up political speech? First off, conservative values are more of an ideology, not a political speech. And I said, okay, something doesn't seem right here. Again, this is a grift, but something here is not clicking with me. So I said, let me do a little bit of research. Tabernacle. This is his Facebook page. Now, this shit is dry as hell. He got about, I think it was like 300 something people following him. Okay. I want y'all to pay particular attention to this part right here, where my cursor is. What that say to you? Why is your Facebook page of a politician, sir? You're not a politician. Number two, for those who don't know what this layout is, this is a layout for a business page. Sir, you're selling no product. You would have done better having a fan page. And you claim you were on Jubilee all this time. How come all of a sudden your page is this dry? His LinkedIn doesn't even work. I would get that updated. LinkedIn is free. I'm sorry, not LinkedIn, Linktree. Linktree is free. You get that updated. Interesting. We found the give, send, go because he put up a give, send, go. We're going to get to that later. We ain't finna promote it, though. We just going to laugh when I show you the amount that he's gotten and what he asked for. Let's see. He wrote more.
One thing that bothered me when I was brought into this principle, this meeting with my principal, so what happened was, I want to explain to people kind of what happened. So,
Sir, Stephen Leiden, he's not more successful than me. I'm going to prove it to you right now. See, I'm gainfully employed on salary. He's not. He just lost his job. And truthfully, Jubilee ain't finna call him for a while. He's about to go blow his savings on a frivolous lawsuit. Because he said it in the first video. He's been talking to lawyers. You can't talk to lawyers without paying them. But we're going to let it continue. Sir, the shade room was destroying you. That man promoted the shade room.
That came from that video. I had been working as a fourth grade teacher at a private Christian school.
I love how these black conservatives wanted to land-base the shade room. Then all of a sudden they get their video up there. The shade room is awesome. No, Charmaine, we're not promoting it. We're not going to do what them white folks did with the Carmelo Anthony piece. We're not finna do that.
In Jacksonville. Trying to stay under the radar.
Got him. That man said I was trying to stay under the radar. So let's play that game, sir. So you were being deceptive. It's funny. You said you were on Dr. Phil and your school didn't attack you for going on Dr. Phil, mainly because nobody was watching Dr. Phil at that point. That's when he had the media company. Nobody watched his videos. I saw those views. Those views were worse than mine. You're going to tell us they knocked you for going on Jubilee? Okay.
So, I don't talk to people about politics at my job or anything like that. Like separate.
Right.
So I was brought into a meeting. This school had many times of abuse, right? Because when you sometimes work in these environments, usually when there's a black woman in leadership, right, that's Democrat.
There we go. So you slandered the school again. The school's in-house lawyers are downloading all these videos. They got them already. The discovery, if you ever get into a lawsuit, is going to be beautiful. They are going to laugh you out of court. And you're going to have to pay fees, and you're going to have to pay the countersuit. Keep going. Keep slandering them. Go ahead.
You have these type of problems. So what ended up happening was...
By the way, my man, you want to talk about black people pulling themselves up by their bootstrap? Why you living in the hood? This is the hood. Your teacher salary didn't cover you to get into them nice white enclaves in Duval County.
So they brought me in and they asked me about the video. They asked me what I believe about white supremacy and not being a real thing and racism and systematic racism. And I had to explain that, which I thought was unacceptable, because I asked him a question. I said, if I was a Democrat...
Somebody got to get this boy media training. Somebody got to teach this boy. I'm finna teach him right now. I'm about to be 40 in November. I'm finna teach him. Sir, when somebody asks you a question like that, be like, listen, my beliefs are separate from how I conduct myself in the classroom. I don't bring it in the classroom. You can go interview my students. They'll tell you I never bring up politics in there unless it's part of the curriculum. Now, if y'all want to knock me for going on that video, that's cool. But don't ask me about my personal beliefs, because you wouldn't ask me about my religious beliefs.
And I was fighting for those things that you consider valuable for the black community. Would I even be sitting in this office? And the answer was clearly no. But the thing that really bothered me at the end of this meeting was they basically said that this will be brought up to the higher ups, and that I had a choice.
Call the people that run the school, the corporation behind it. Yes.
To make in so many words, either I could choose to completely stop speaking about what I was speaking about. There would be consequences. After that, there was things that they kept doing. They couldn't just, I don't think, wanted to just fire me because they didn't want it to be an open lawsuit, right? So they start doing things the next few days, a meeting every day, discriminating about, attacking me about something. And
so they gave you ample opportunity to stop. You didn't want to stop. They're not silencing your speech. They're telling you you're violating the terms of your contract. They actually low-key gave you opportunity after opportunity to get out of it. You could keep your job. All they said is stop doing that. No more videos, because I'm sure they saw your videos of you sitting in the car, ranting and raving about dumb stuff. And you didn't want to do it. That's fair. You can't get upset at them now that they had to make a decision that's beneficial for them, not you.
so I knew that it was time for me to go. I tell you, how I was talking about how I got fired. Well, I ain't gonna say fired. I quit, right?
Nigga, you just said you... How does he lie like this? First he got fired, then he quit. All right.
I had to leave because I experienced the worst form of discrimination by a supposed to be Christian school after.
Wow, a Christian school that doesn't want politics in the classroom unless it's part of the curriculum. Wow. It's almost like they actually honor the separation of church and state. Isn't that something? In some form or fashion.
I made my video went viral. Probably millions and millions of people. It was on the Shade Room, it was on PragerU. That what goes on in these black schools. This was a Democrat school.
It was a Democrat school. Huh. A Democrat school.
I worked at, and they basically told me that I was not allowed to be a Republican. I have the audio recording. They told school executive.
So why didn't you put it out, sir? If you have the audio recording, why didn't you just put it out?
Which I will be releasing the name, told me that I am not allowed.
Say that again.
Which I will be releasing the name. I have the audio recording. They told school in Jacksonville, Florida, which I will be releasing the name, told me that I am not allowed to speak anymore. And then after that, they started targeting me every day with different things that I never was targeted with before.
It's called building a case, sir. They have to protect themselves. If they're going to go through with the lawsuit, they got to make sure they're covering all bases.
There was discrimination, and I was looking into filing a lawsuit about it. But that's what happened. After my Jubilee, they actually talked about the interview because you are not allowed to be at these schools that are dominated by black women, black people, or Democrats. So,
oh, man. So you shouldn't blame white people for your problems. Let's just blame black people. Okay.
So they were very angry. I got so many side things that I'm doing, and I have another offer already, but I just have to expose it to Facebook, and I will be exposing the name of the school.
So expose it already. Why are you still talking about it? Expose it. Matter of fact, I'm on his page. Let's see if he got something called school on there. Let me look. He ain't got nothing. Where's this explosion? Where is it, sir? Or did that lawyer tell you not to do that? Where is it? We're looking. Maybe it's in these. Uh-huh. You begging to Ron DeSantis and Trump. The boy looking for a job. All right.
It's sad. It's sad in this community, in this black community, how you're treated.
Bye. The boy put up a give, send, go. He wanted 5 G's. The boy got $335. Where are all these good white people who loved you when you said that black culture is toxic? Why didn't they go and donate the money? By the way, your $5,000, he talking about something. He needs security. Security for what, sir? Nobody's looking for you. That sounds like victimhood to me. I thought you said you had an offer already. This is what he said. He said he got an offer already, so you should be working by now. Why do you need a give, send, go? They just be lying and telling on themselves.
So this is me cleaning out my classroom.
So you telling folk. I guess he forgot in this day and age of Google that people can just Google photos and find out where this school is. We ain't finna do that here because I'm not gonna dox the bibis. But this ain't smart, sir. This is something a female would do. I'm not even trying to be mean about it. I would expect a female to do this.
Because I resigned because I was targeted at my school for political beliefs. So this is my classroom.
Is that a Popeyes bag? I can't tell. Let me. Is that a Popeyes bag right there? I just see orange and white. Nigga, did you stop for lunch before you went to go clean out your classroom? I didn't even know Popeyes was open that early. Shout out to Jacksonville. A green substance. What BLM money? I never donated 1 red cent to him. I actually lost friends over saying BLM is a piece of shit. So please be quiet. The only thing you should be good for is bringing out the toxic Avenger. When you do that, let us know.
This is my classroom. We get my stuff. And yeah, I was targeted. I was told in so many words that if you don't stop speaking about some political things, you will be fired.
Bam! You telling them, you helping them. So you were told, and I'm sure it's in your contract that they're gonna show when you do the mediation. You have in your contract stated no political beliefs are allowed in our school if it's not part of the curriculum.
Then I was targeted afterwards with a bunch of petty stuff to get me to leave my job. So, this shouldn't be happening in any workplace for conservatives or Christians or any Christian school, but it's
Why don't you go to the predominantly white school? That's crazy. All right, let's address this real fast. The bitch ass that walked in here, who we don't know if he's white, brown, Jasmine, diabetic, basmati. We don't even know if you fried. The reason we put the guidelines here is so you understand what this channel is all about. Now, if it's F stuff that I wrote that means you can't read, because we know there's plenty of LGBTQ people that are smarter than you. So if you don't like the F stuff, you can leave. Because all you white boys be talking about, or brown, or Jasmine, or fried, what other one, the basmati, whichever one you are, I'm sure they're talking something better than what I'm doing. So maybe you should leave. I love how y'all come in here and then get upset that there's actually rules. But if we showed up to your 4-door SUV that you're living out of, that's from the 90s, you would have rules. We continue. Just had to address that. Why you so soft-spoken, my G? You was tough talking in front of a celebrity. Let's get the tough talking. Them kids ain't in the room yet. Get tough talking. Get loud.
Yes, it's not right. But I'm okay because I always contracted work as a teacher.
Fourth Horsemen, they ain't talked. No, Four Horsemen. We can already prove that this isn't gonna happen. That they're gonna ask them to come on conservative podcast. They already got their golden boy off of Jubilee, the Angolan. Charlie Kirk put his arm around him. He's going to try to anoint him. That Matt Nuclear person is going to be their answer to Noah DeBrasso.
That I do on the side, but it's just exposing it, bringing it to light. It should be happening in Florida. And this is what black conservatives go through, right?
Black conservatives go through. You guys are so irrelevant, y'all ain't got no problems. Like I told him the other day, y'all hate each other. Y'all don't do collaborations with each other. Y'all don't go on each other's platforms. Y'all don't big each other up. Amala Ekpanobi gets stalked. Not near one of y'all said in the beginning of your videos, hey, Amala, you have a situation right now. Hopefully you're safe out there. And, we here for you. Not once. She finna go run back over to the left. This fool said you can't speak as a Republican and conservative in North Florida. I want y'all to understand what I just said. This man said you can't speak as a Republican and conservative in North Florida. He's in a city that voted for Trump in 2024. The city leans 55% right. The hell is he talking about? So you low-key telling us that DeSantis and the national GOP ain't got no sway in Florida the way y'all think they do. Which is something I told y'all earlier this year, that Florida was going to be the battleground for the midterms, and they're going to give it back to the Democrats. But this is what y'all want. What's that you said? And why you so soft with it? Come on now. I got to go to 100 to hear you? Let's go. What did you just say?
I got to my Jubilee interview. I was brought in my being told in so many words, you cannot speak about that. You have to, we won't watch your Facebook, we won't watch your social media, you won't be live.
One more time? One more time?
That's I wouldn't be listening to God. But, you can't speak as a Republican, you can't speak as a conservative without losing your job. After my Jubilee interview, I was brought in by my dean and told in so many words, you cannot speak about that. You have to, we won't watch your Facebook, we won't watch your social media, you won't be allowed to speak about it. And I resigned.
Any lawyer that takes his case, y'all just need some money. I understand. The economy is bad right now. I get it. He just sunk his case with this video. They told you, watch what you post on social media, so they were aware of your social media. So let me get this right. When you sign that contract, or you filed that application, I'm sure it had somewhere on there with the red asterisk that you had to put your social media handles. And you willingly gave that up. And you're pissed off now that they found out that you post stuff like that all over your page and they want to get rid of you? Okay. We'll say it again. He put up the give, send, go. Wants 5 G's, 5 racks. Them good folk that loved what he said in front of that black radical woman gave that man $335. Oh, that's right. That's right. You don't believe me. I figured you didn't. I figured that. You're going to see my big ass head right now for a second. Because we're not going to promote the give, send, go. That's what we're not going to do. We're just going to show it to you. Just for those who think I was lying. That's his real name, Jordan Wells. There you go. We're not going to do that. No links, no nothing. And look, wait a minute. You said pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Look at who he tagged. Why are you tagging white platforms to bring you on? I thought you got on with the Shade Room. You went viral on the Shade Room. Why didn't you call up Angelique and the rest of them Nigerian coons over there in LA? Since you love to go to LA now, you should have sat down and did an interview with them. I'm surprised the Root, shout out to Professor Black Truth. I'm surprised they're out there in LA. They didn't call you up. They get you a free flight and cold In-N-Out burger upon arrival to your seat. But you want to sit up here and promote the Shade Room. Well, let's go see those comments. Because he's making it seem like if you don't know no better, that the Shade Room was putting them over. And I don't even like being on the Shade Room page. Look, it's nothing but degeneracy on this page. Let me look. No, we'll do it like this. We'll put in Instagram, the Shade Room, Jubilee. Maybe that'll bring it up. Motherfucker. Damn it. Okay, we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. Let's see. Media. Should be under media. Let's see. I know I'm scrolling fast. They got so much bullshit on this page. When did that Jubilee interview come out? Here it go. Let me look. Oh, right. I muted the page. That's good. Okay. Childish black man said black culture is toxic. Hashtag Amanda Seals wasn't having none of that during her sit down against 20 black conservatives on various culture, debate, and politics. That was a week ago. Where are the comments? Did they shut that motherfucker shut the comments off? Hey, pirate, Mr. I am the captain now. Why don't you just write the word? You're showing us how white you are. You're scared of black people. Just write the words out. It's not that hard. Are you scared of us or are you scared of the algorithm? Never in my wildest dreams did I think white people would be scared of a computer on a social media app. Oh my God. So he said he went viral. It only got like 78,500 views. No, I tell a lie. How many views? Oh, wait, they might not do views on this. This is viral because 78,000 likes. They didn't even like you, sir. They had to shut the comments off. They was probably going in on you. I saw some of them. It was bad. And your conservatives didn't run over there to come help you. And notice, you were the only one they singled out. They even let the Angolan live. All right. But there's that. Damn, who y'all deleting now? Jeremy Davis, you got deleted because you said the quote wrong. How you gonna quote LBJ and get it wrong? Damn, that's crazy. What else we got? This was the other thing he was ranting about. Some tell me he tried to aim for a white woman, but that's okay. Jonathan, easy. Before you drop the weight on your neck. Calm down. Get some. Get some. Ooh, what is this? I was fired from teaching after reading To Kill a Mockingbird. Wait, what? Hold up. I just saw this. Wait. I tell you they be lying. I'm getting up. I gotta get some green tea. I'm gonna let y'all hold that. That man lied again. Oh my God. What? Oh no. Black family. Put the thumbs down emoji in the chat. I got the green tea so y'all didn't think I was lying. Put the thumbs down emoji in the chat. This nigga out here lying. So now you got fired for reading To Kill a Mockingbird. Let me look. Is To Kill a Mockingbird banned in Florida? Let me look. I'm going to ask AI one time. It's banned in some Florida school districts, although it's not banned statewide. Let me look. Let me see if it's banned in Duval. Wait a minute. So this was when? Okay, so this was last February in 2024. He said classic books like To Kill a Mockingbird should not be allowed to be challenged. Same goes for the dictionary. Okay. So it's not banned in Florida. Let me see if it's banned in Jacksonville. Let's see. Because it could be. But again, he lied. So it's been banned in Jacksonville, Florida, along with many other books due to concerns over its content and language. So you broke county law. You broke city law. So now we have somebody admitting to a crime. Huh. I'm curious though. Should we do it, family? Should we do it? He said it's going to be out tomorrow, so it should be here. Let's look. I might want to listen to this. The Great Reassessment. Here we go. So he's one of them. 56 minutes. Okay. I think we might have to do it.
They don't respect Clarence Thomas. They call him an Uncle Tom, a coon.
He went in front of a white man and started using AAVE. I thought black culture was toxic. Huh. Okay.
Man that broke so many barriers for black.
This nigga has on a Ron DeSantis for Florida governor polo shirt. Okay.
Right? Not just a
Well, William Wallace, they voted for Trump, so it's not that much of a damn city.
Republican. Forget that a Republican. Bye-bye. He really experienced racism. Like, his confirmation hearing was so controversial because he was a black man. That was real systematic racism he was up against.
Wait a minute. I was told by black conservatives that there's no systemic racism. ABL told us that. Larry Elder told us that. Brandon Tatum told us that. Thomas Sowell told us that. All of them told us that there's no systemic racism. What did you just say, sir?
A Republican. Bye-bye. He really experienced racism. Like, his confirmation hearing was so controversial because he was a black man. That was real systematic racism he was up against.
His words, not mine. What does TBN always tell us? If you really want to know what a black person thinks, put them in front of a white person and let them ask the questions. He damn near trying to sound like Amanda Seals right now. Go ahead, sir. We're going to take off these captions. Oh, that's his captions? That's even worse.
Right, but yet they think he's a coon.
So you say that the
Because he is.
in charge are two black women, and are they the ones who are ultimately responsible for you being let go?
Yeah. You know, and the next day I got called into a meeting.
That's what I think. Like the redeemed black spirit is a powerful tool. It is a powerful, powerful tool, and like to see it used in a righteous way, like Mark Robinson. Like I get emotional.
Mark Robinson.
You're listening.
Wallow J's big homie.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode.
Know what we're gonna do?
This today,
because I want to get through this.
Episode, maybe the most important episode I've ever recorded, because this one.
That's a very low bar, my friend. I know you just started your YouTube channel, but that's very. That's your most important interview. That's a very low bar.
How do you know that what happened to me recently? I was a former teacher, and I was fired over, violating the woke standards.
You're correct, William. That's why most of y'all kowtow to black people and send your kids when they need to be protected to us.
A simple once in a blue moon thing, but it's happened again to another teacher, and I am fortunate to be able to speak to him today. It's Jordan Wells, aka Black MAGA Preacher, and I cannot wait to dive in, speak with him today, because this is very recent. He was just fired yesterday, and allegedly over his conservative Christian worldview, and some of the viewpoints that he talks about.
Yes, Alpha Tango, I can call Clarence Thomas a coon, because he is a coon. Think about it like this. They only them folk over there on his side that are not black only bring him up when he puts out a decision that benefits them. If y'all are supposed to tell us that you're about accountability and you have document after document after document of this man doing wrongdoing, why y'all not calling him out? Breathe on that.
Online, outside of his work, but we're going to talk today. So, Jordan Wells, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. I'm looking forward to this conversation. It needs to be had.
Yes.
It needs to be had.
Man, I just want to give you the opportunity to
So wait, you couldn't get to no black conservatives. You had one on there called ABL who has 1 million followers on this platform called YouTube. You couldn't get to him and tell your story? You went to a white man who is starting his YouTube channel. He's going to use you to boost himself. And look, 14 hours ago, so this is almost a day ago, nobody except one troll comment showed up. You have a bigger platform than he does. And you barely promote it. You didn't even put the link. That's crazy.
What's the context to everything that's happening? You posted a video on Twitter yesterday. It has gone viral. You were talking about how you have to exit your classroom, and you're a teacher at a school in Florida. We know that much. But what's the context? Like, what's going on over there?
Yeah, well, we've been doing politics for a long time. About 5
Why did you just jump cut? Do you see that jump cut, family? We're going to show it again.
Teacher at a school in Florida. We know that much. But what's the context? Like, what's going on over there?
Yeah, well, we've been doing politics for a long
I wonder why you jump cut, but Lala Papa, you should not be disappointed in ABL. It's like I said earlier before you got here. A lot of these black conservatives be talking reckless on Twitter, but then when they get to their channel, they be talking real meek. ABL don't talk like this. Like he did in Jubilee, he don't talk like that on his YouTube channel. He got the tough talking. Because it was a man to see, as I told you, them conservatives do not like women. He would not be talking like that if that was a man sitting in that chair. I guarantee it. ABL only tough around white trolls. If that was a black man sitting in there saying reparations is much needed, he'd be trying to sit there and have a back and forth with that man.
long time. About 5 years. Ooh, I don't know. But we have been we've been doing conservative things. We've been, I run for office, I run for Congress, I run for school board.
And there we go. That's why his Facebook page said politics, so he tried to run for Congress. Thank you for that information, young man.
When this happened, it was just, I had been on a show called Jubilee, debating on black conservatism versus black liberalism, basically. I was one of the 20 that was there, and I had a few with me and maybe 2 others, some very viral clips on reparations, white supremacy, and systematic racism. Well, those clips went viral. At the time, I had just started working at this new Christian school. I had kind of stopped doing teaching because I just got tired of the things that go on in the classroom. The teaching has become a very hard field. And so I kind of took a break from teaching. And I definitely had been doing public school, and I stopped doing that. So I just decided.
You thought you were going to be a star because people were calling you up. And it didn't work. So you said, fuck it, I'm going to go back to knowing what I know. I'm going to go teach. They don't want to save the country. They just want to be celebrities.
Now, I had 2 options, and I always tell people I should have known not to go to that school. To be honest, I prefer not to work in environments before your guest. I need some diversity in my teaching, because usually when you're a black conservative, this is the type of stuff that happens. If they find out who you are, you're targeted, you're abused, you're bullied.
Oh my God.
And it's not a safe environment for black conservatives. So, but I just took the job, and around that time,
Sir, I have a question. I'm just talking to the video, but how come you pulled out of the race? Pause. How come you pulled out last year? You were trying to run for Duval County School Board to represent District 5. How come you did that? He was trying to run for, I believe, commissioner. No, wait. Was it commissioner? No, I'm sorry. I don't know if, hold on. My iPad running kind of slow. Yes, it was for commissioner. Why did you pull out? Could you not make the money? I'm just asking for friends. We want to know this.
Video went viral when I was on the Shade Room, which has over 29 million subscribers, a big black, like a BET type of thing. And
Big black.
And the next day I got called into a meeting. I've done my job well, and I love my kids, and I'm a very good teacher. And my vice principal, and I just was like, I knew kind of feel like what I felt with that with what was going on, but I wasn't sure. So I took the meeting with my vice principal, my principal. First thing she asked me was she being recorded, which I was going to record her because I just felt weird about the meeting. And that I knew that in itself was where her asking if she was being recorded, because she never had asked that before. Then she began to talk to me about the video and my political beliefs. And mind you, I've never talked about politics at the school. I've never talked about political anything. I never talk about my outside life. I keep that separate for a reason, because I'm there to teach, educate students. And I tell
If your political and ideological views are part of your personal life, you shouldn't have been saying them on school ground, like you were doing those videos in the park. By the way, for those who thought I was lying when I said he wasn't living in the hood, and I didn't dox him. He has this information publicly out there because he was a politician. That is his zip code. Median household income is $40K.
people on the left the same thing. I don't believe people should be fired because of what they believe. Whether you're Democrat or Republican, I don't believe you should be fired as long as you don't bring it into the classroom.
You wanted them teacher base to be fired for wearing clothes. So let's not do that. That's freedom of expression covered under the First Amendment. You wanted them fired. Stop it. Scott Buckner, that's what you have to take up with your school boards. See, y'all not going to these PTA meetings. You're not going to these school board meetings. And them schools tell y'all when this is going on. It's on your school calendar. Y'all not going there. That's why you let Democrats and Republicans run around and just institute whatever the hell they want, because there's no pushback. Y'all only show a pushback when it's already in place. As parents, we have to start going to these PTA meetings again, especially us black folks. My wife and I go to the meetings all the time. Whenever there's something at school, either she goes or we both go. Her teachers know me. Got to stop using excuses. Yes, the school boards are bullshit. We know that. Teachers' unions, assholes. They need to be disbanded. But we as parents are the first line of defense to get with our kids. We have to get there.
That is my belief. That is what I champion, and I would go to Tallahassee and say the same thing.
You want to go to Tallahassee now?
Toxic because we're in a situation where Republicans are only going to be able to work with Republicans and Democrats are only going to be able to work with Democrats, right? And it shouldn't be like that, right? We should be able to coexist with different political beliefs and do a job, as long as we're not.
That's wonderful, Scott. Not everybody's part of the PTA.
The should be indoctrinating our kids, and we're not going to try to indoctrinate theirs, right? So
caught them. So you already lied. You said now you got fired for reading To Kill a Mockingbird. According to Florida, according to Jacksonville, that's indoctrinating the kids. That's why they banned the book.
I believe that. And so this meeting was basically a very long meeting, about an hour. I was pulled out of class, pulled out of my teaching my kids. and I was given an ultimatum that I either had to pull down all my social media content and stop talking about politics, especially that regarding race, things like that, because our parents didn't want their kids in my classroom, and she wouldn't want her kids in my classroom. And yeah, and so I told, I knew I wasn't going to do it. And I pretty much told
You know, this dude would defend an out-and-out racist to being able to teach because it's free speech. And he would defend them if that person says, I don't want that person teaching my kid. By the way, screenshot. We're going to change the thumbnail when this is over.
told him I wasn't going to do it, and that I could really give me a few days to think about it. And the next few days became very abusive. I was called.
Whoa. You see what he tried to pull? He was going to say he was assaulted. Listen.
Very abusive. I was called.
You see how he tried? There he goes again, trying to lie.
Incompetent, which I've never been called before by anybody.
Okay, you got called incompetent. That's free speech.
Very good at my job. And then the next day, I was a remark about my sexuality was brought up. Principal.
What? Whoa. Wait a minute. They brought up your sexuality, sir. Wait a minute. Come on. By the way, screenshot number 2. We're going to change the thumbnail when we're done. You know what we're going to do, family? Wait a minute. I just realized something. I didn't get to do this. Give me 1 second. What did I forgot to do? I forgot to tag this sumbitch. I want him to come in here and hear what I'm saying. I want him to refute it.
Been called before by anybody, because I'm very good at my job.
They called you homosexual?
And then the next day, I was a remark about my sexuality was brought up by the vice principal and the principal. It was just a very toxic situation, and so I was scheduled a meeting. The word was in this meeting that they were going to decide to possibly let me go for the situation, because I refused to stop. I kept posting right after that, and yeah, so I just told them that you don't have to fire. We don't have to go through with this.
Is this sound okay? Because I think I left and came back in. Does it sound all right? Put a 1 if the sound is all right. Look, he closed his eyes. He finna come up with another lie. Thank you.
God, I said I'll be okay, and I sent the email to HR. I sent the email to the higher ups, and told them that I will be reaching out to people about discrimination, political discrimination, and that that this was a discrimination basically, and that was the end of it.
So you basically told them, I'm not taking down my social media content, which, I understand how that would rub them the wrong way. However, you are not posting anything that's inconsistent with, the school's philosophy or,
Now we're going to get on this interviewer. Sir, what do you mean that what he's posting is not inconsistent with the school? I could tell he didn't do his research. The man literally said they got upset at him for talking about white supremacy. They told him you can't talk about that in the school. Again, they don't bring up politics unless it's within the curriculum. He's bringing his personal politics into the school. That's inconsistent with their values. Just like y'all love to lambaste the LGBTQ for being in front of your school kids, having trans flags in the room. That's inconsistent. The kids are not there to learn about LGBTQ values. They're there to learn reading, writing, and arithmetic. And how to be a functioning member of society and work with others. Yeah. This is going to be fun. I can already see it.
Because it's a Christian school, you said.
Yeah.
Right, so like if you're talking about conservative ideas outside of your workplace, which you have a right to do, I mean, it'd be one thing if you were posting about things like drinking on the weekends.
Okay, I'm gonna help. I'm gonna help this. I shouldn't even do this. I'm off code, family. I'm just gonna tell you this right now, Mr. Sir. My sister goes to a Christian or a Catholic school. They don't talk about conservative values. The most she's gonna get as close to that is when she does religion class, and they don't even talk about conservative. They talk about the Bible. Now, probably outside of Toilet Paper USA's Dream Academy, they're talking about conservative values. Most of these schools in this country, probably 99% of them, do not talk about conservative values or liberal values. Most of them youngins don't even have a concept of what that is. But you heard your man earlier say they're trying to indoctrinate the children. What do you think PragerU has been doing? Dennis already admitted it.
Getting a bunch of girls, like going to Vegas and like high time partying, but like you're talking about social issues and from a conservative viewpoint.
Oh God.
That you're deeply concerned about outside of work. Like you're not trying
a biased viewpoint. Yeah, that's never had a problem in a school.
Indoctrinate children. So why do you think that? Because that's what I understand. Like, why is this Christian school upset about you being a conservative? Like, what's the deal there?
Well, I tell people the problem is black people, and this is a racial thing.
Here we go.
Black people are very conservative, except in their politics.
This fucking guy. So we're socially conservative, but when it comes to our politics, we're not conservative. But these were the same folk who were celebrating black men voting for Trump in this last election. They're the same ones lauding that idiot Amro Foodle and Nick Fuentes for influencing black kids. Them two would be considered conservatives. I keep telling y'all they can't keep their lives straight. So according to Buddy here, that most black people are liberal. So let me ask you this there, Buddy. If most black people are liberal, why don't we have a bunch of black homosexuals, about 70, 80% running around? Why is it the rise of the black family is occurring right now, but you conservatives won't talk about that? Black people either getting married or just co-parenting in peace with their kids and keeping the government out of their lives. Y'all don't bring that up. Stands to reason those were conservative values. You got black people leaving the church but going back to the Most High, but y'all don't bring that up. You have black people right now being more patriotic than their predecessors were. But y'all don't bring that up. Those are conservative values. Damn. Can't keep their lives straight.
And we know this because they vote Democrat by a huge majority. So, they'll praise God and they'll talk about God and Jesus and all this. But when it comes to voting, they are completely liberal. And
Jesus Christ. But the numbers got Trump in, but they're completely liberal. Okay, dude. Okay. Kamala got some of the lowest numbers for a Democrat in history. But, okay. She didn't even beat Biden's numbers, but yeah, they're completely liberal. Okay. Wonderful. Let me help you. If she was completely liberal, Donald Trump would not be president right now.
they'll make every excuse to vote liberal. And that's the most, I was listening to Brandon Tatum, and he was talking about how it was the most super saved woman in his church, right? You would have thought she was the most Christianized woman in the church. When he became a black conservative and became vocal, she cussed him out. She lost all semblance of Christian faith. And so that's just rampant. And I've been speaking out about it. That though I believe that my faith is more in line with Republican and conservative principles, I believe it's an oxymoron to say you're a liberal Christian. I don't believe they go together.
Oops. I bet you he didn't know there was liberal Republicans. I'm sure he doesn't know there's a concept of conservative Democrats. Again, they're conflating an ideology with a political party. They're not the same.
And I can go word for word, scripture for scripture on that. I don't believe that, you can believe, abortion and these different topics. I believe these are Christian issues. But the reality of it is that school run by two African-American women were very upset by it. And they tried to act like they were not. Because they're very professional. So they tried to do a very good job of acting like they were trying to be concerned, even saying that they could give me some mental help. So, in a nice way, they were nice, nasty with it.
Nice, nasty. He's still doing the AAV in front of this white man. Nice, nasty. Sir, just say what it is. They were roasting you and you had no comeback. Pause.
They said they don't believe what I say is Christ-like or Christian, which I don't understand that. A lot of very insulting things were said in that hour that I was in that meeting. But I was going to be fine because I have different things that I do outside of that I'm fine financially. My wife works, and I have contracts that I do. I can contract substitute teach, and I have a lot of other things I do.
Contract as a substitute teacher. Okay, so that means they call you when they need you. So that would indicate that knowing that you're running around telling your story, they may be a little hesitant to call you in.
Well, I've been very responsive and they've helped. We had a few of our friends that asked us to do a GoSend so that they could help with legal, because we're looking into law fees and all that.
Law fees.
But the people who celebrated the most as I was experiencing this were the black community. Many of the black community were happy, and it's very ecstatic that I'm going through what I went through. My greatest support has been people of other nationalities and Caucasians who they say I'm supposed to hate. So, I'm very outspoken about this racial issue.
Well, at least he has a black wife.
I believe as a man of faith, you cannot hate people because they're white. I told her that. You cannot. Outspoken about these racial issues. Because I believe as a man of faith, you cannot hate people because they're white. And I told her that. The principal, and I'll tell her pastor that.
No, sir. We don't hate people because they're white. We hate their character. You know, the thing that MLK told everybody to do? We deal with you how you are, not your skin color.
We cannot be calling ourselves Christian people and then claiming to hate people because of the color of their skin. So, I don't believe the whole thing was oh, we believe that systematic racism is an issue. We believe that white supremacy is an issue. That's what was said to me in the meeting.
So yeah, that's good context. Thank you for sharing. So you say that the two people in charge are two black women, and are they the ones who are ultimately responsible for you being let go?
Yes.
And what is the demographic makeup of the student population? Is this a primarily black
Yes.
school?
95% black.
Yeah. And the faculty as well?
95% black.
So you are a black man, obviously. This is very interesting to me. As an American, I've lived in various parts of the country, and I've worked with a lot of black folks. When I was in the military, a lot of my coworkers were black. That's the one great thing about the military, or not the one great thing, but it's one of the great things. Is like sometimes you get to work with people who are from all over the country, and so in my particular job, I worked with a lot of people who were from Baltimore, Louisiana, Georgia, and it's really great to like kind of see what everybody brings to the table, just from their part of the country, and worked with a lot of black men and women. And one of the things I just gathered was that like there seems to be like this presence of like race-mindedness, and that's a terrible term for it, but like this, you carry the fact that you are black with you everywhere you go. Like you can't actually separate it from anything, and so like.
It took 15 minutes for this commentator to let us know what he's really about. And he got this Negro over here cheesing like a son of a bitch with the Rob Smith headline. So basically what he's saying is black people are the only people in this country to carry black with them everywhere. So no other race does this. Huh. So he's low-key saying that we should be assimilating into an American culture and forget who we are. Since we live in America, we have an American zip code and an American address. We collect an American paycheck. We just American. We're not who we're supposed to be. We're supposed to forget who we are. Because you were in the military. Where it's understood that you all are one.
Like maybe two strangers who both happen to be black meet each other. There's like this, more often than not, generally, like this undertone of an understanding, like, hey, we're on the same team here.
Wrong. Leave it to the white man. 20 seconds later, what have I told y'all about the American races? They will say something and then within 10 seconds own themselves. Well, this took 20. I'm going to let y'all decide this. Should I explain it, what he just said, how wrong it is? Put a 1. If you just want me to continue the video, press 2. Because I can't believe he said what he just said. Let me help you, sir, since you got that look like you're reading the script. All black people are different. I have black Americans in here whose people are from this land. My people are from Jamaica. We vibe when we need to vibe, but we understand that we have differences. And as you said, and you played in your teaser, this man understands that all black people understand that we are not the same. Because he just went on a rant talking about how black people call Clarence Thomas a coon. Fine, I'll explain it, sir. We're going to play it one more time. Educate yourself.
Meet each other. There's like this, more often than not, generally, like this undertone of an understanding, like, hey, we're on the same team here.
Wrong. Because we have, number one, that Jubilee interview, the Angolan, Matt Nuclear, who's trying to make a name for himself. He didn't even understand black people. He came to this country when he was, what did he say, 6? And his people didn't put him around majority black people. They put him around Africans and white people in Maine. He does not know how black people in the rest of the country act outside of what he could see on social media. The boy admitted he never moved around. He just got to Florida. Black people, such as I'm from an immigrant background, but my people from Jamaica act way different than them Florida Jamaicans. Way different. Black Americans in New York act way different than the ones down south or on the West Coast. Food's different, culture's different, the way we talk is different, the way we even walk is different, the way we holler at females is different. Them West Coast Black Americans be calling each other cuz. We in New York, we be like, "Ayo, ma. You trying to go get a chopped cheese, dead ass. And your Tim's is tough." Mr. White Man, just because you went to the military and you were around black folks who are from these different cities, it does not mean that they are all on one accord. We all have different movement. We all have different things that we believe in. I could go right now, walk down the street, see another black person, and they could be Muslim. I grew up in a household that was Christian. We may not be on the same team. He brought it right back to skin color, that we should all be on one accord. Even white folk, there's no understanding that they're together. Every day they show y'all that. White conservatives can't get with white liberals. The white moderates are just laughing at both of them, then they get attacked. That's them bastardizing MLK again. And it's sad to see. That man been dead since 68. And 57 years later, they're still trying to rewrite what he believed in. That's crazy.
Whereas, like, is what I'm describing accurate?
Yes, exactly. And you're on the same team until you tell me Republicans.
Yeah, like.
Oh my God.
And some people will say that's like that derives from like hundreds of years ago when blacks were could be slaves in this country, and like this had like this stick together mentality because of slavery and Jim Crow and some of that.
Okay, sir, did you forget that there were slaves that were house niggas? Did you forget about that? They weren't the same as the field ones. There was no understanding. When the field ones tried to get the understanding from the house ones would call massa on them. The field niggas were not fighting to go try to warm up massa's bed. They were trying to burn down the plantation. The house Negroes were running to the river to put it out. Look, he's reading another script.
That resonates a little bit. Like, I can understand where that might come from, but like, this is just my brutal, honest opinion, and you can tell me if you think I'm wrong. But it seems like the racial awareness, like that affects like your orientation, not your, but like in general, like as you are in the world, is a perpetual mindset that is being passed down through the generations, and it's being taught in very subtle ways by black families. in you like telling.
Is this man trying to blame us for the social ills of this country? So we're the only race that are teaching our children and our children's children and generations down that shit is wrong in this country? So the rest of y'all not teaching your kids nothing. Y'all teaching them the kumbaya. No wonder you got all these kids confused.
Instructing children as they come up, like to be careful. You're black. You're gonna have a hard time in this life. I need to prepare you what it's like to be a black man in the.
Yes. We have to do that, and y'all still don't think that's a problem.
United States.
Yes.
You need to follow certain rules. You need to keep yourself safe.
Oh, shit. Wow. Black family. He said we're not supposed to teach our kids how to be safe. Oh, Lord. And he over here nodding his head. So, as black people, according to this white man, we're not supposed to teach our kids how to be safe. We're not supposed to teach them how to move around this country. We're supposed to let them just go to school, learn what school's teaching them, go home, put them in front of an iPad, don't instill nothing in them, none of their history, none of who they came from, what makes them unique. We're supposed to just have another drone leave our house at 18 to go to college and just be another drone over there. That's what we're supposed to do. So when life punches them in the face, all they can do is cry, not get up, dust themselves off, and start getting the roasting on them for about 5 minutes and keep it moving and go be great. This white man is telling you right now we're supposed to create victims. Black people are supposed to keep the permanent underclass going. F you, sir.
And I understand that is being taught in love, but I just don't know if it's helpful or necessary to instruct kids in this perpetual mindset that I think ultimately it is more destructive than anything because it's preventing blacks and whites from getting along.
Blacks and whites.
I'll speak from my perspective only.
Okay, Negro, I'm talking to this asshole now. Negro, and you sitting here listening to this man say this and no pushback. That's why I think you might be Caribbean. You just got that look. You got that island look to you. I don't know why, but I hear steel drums. And not because it's Labor Day weekend. I hear steel drums. But you listening to this white man lie, talking about black people and white people don't get together. I'm actually watching black people, white people get together when they're getting rid of these illegals. I actually see it. I actually see black people and white people actually agreeing that the government out of control right now. I get it. It's been, this year it was 30 years since OJ got off. I get it. Maybe that's where some of this energy is coming from. But Mr. Military still thinks that there's not a contingent of, that it should be a majority of black people and white people supposed to like each other. Yet he won't acknowledge, I bet you he won't, that the government and the people that descended from the government, the people that like to follow the government and talk for the government, like him here, this government tool created the problem. But we're going to let the government tool keep talking.
I am generally going to give everybody a fair shake when I meet them. I'm a Christian.
Here we go.
Myself a kind, open person. Like, I really don't think a black person needs to view me with certain suspicion as though I might try to hurt them or mislead them in some way, but...
That's why we say suspected white supremacists. Suspected. That's how humans move, sir. They are not openly happy to be in the company of everybody. We're going to watch how you move.
for a lot of, and sometimes it's more subtle, but like coming into an engagement with me with like a slight suspicion that I might not have their best interest in mind.
Yes, it says that in the good book. You should lead with discernment.
When I'm not even thinking about race, like, you know, obviously I know you're black and I'm white, like I get that, right? Like people see that they're the only type of person in the room, right? Like I remember when I used to live near Joint Base Andrews in Maryland. I lived in Camp Springs, Maryland, which is like very, very black.
It always goes back to that now. I had to live in a black neighborhood. It always goes back to that. I had 3 to 4.2 black friends. So I'm qualified to speak. Cool. I went to a predominantly white high school. I should be able to go in on white people and y'all can't say anything to me. Do you see how dumb that logic sounds? Oh boy.
Yeah. I would get on the metro in DC. I would be the only white person on the train.
Oh my Lord.
And people would stare at me. And I understand why. It's
No shit. They don't see too many white people. Yes, they're gonna stare at you. They probably think you just bought drugs. Or you were porking some black girl. The fuck? Yes, sir. If I go to Rebecca, Georgia right now, I'm gonna get stared at. You're right. Boy, I don't know.
It's like you are. We're not used to seeing white people. What are you doing here? Like, and I didn't think that people were necessarily racist, but I feel like if the roles were reversed and a black person steps on an all-white train and you know, just somebody's looking because they're not used to it, they're not used to seeing a black person.
What?
They're like, more often than not, this black person will think it's because of racism.
Huh? So you get stared at. What did you say about black people?
And a black person steps on an all-white train and you know, just somebody's looking because they're not used to it, they're not used to seeing a black person. They're like, more often than not, this black person will think it's because of racism. Yeah. Where is that coming from?
He don't know.
I described where I kind of suspect, but like, where is this racial mindedness coming from, and like, how do we get rid of that?
Explore America. That's a lie. Most of white America hates OJ. They only gave him a pass because he said he liked what Trump was doing. Up until the day he said that, them folk wanted OJ to die. When he came out with the book, they wanted to lynch that black man. He went in front of that woman on Fox and had her open the door, and he tried to stab her with a knife to play a joke. When he died, they kept bringing that up. Come on, let's not do that.
To kind of, we'll get back to the education part in a second, but like,
well, it's coming from childhood. You know, it's coming from upbringing.
Childhood.
For me, I was taught that way. I was raised that way. But as a Christian, it changed everything.
So your people brought you up to hate white people. Newsflash, most of our people didn't teach us to hate white people. That's another black conservative lie y'all gotta watch out for. These people ain't been around us. They ain't been in our homes, but know that our parents and our grandparents were teaching us to hate white people. Oh, okay. That's bad.
So when I became a Christian, I stopped viewing people that way. I was very race oriented. I remember I wanted to date outside my race when I was younger. And I'm race oriented. I remember I wanted to date outside my race when I was.
You couldn't pay me enough to. Never mind.
Younger. My mom told me, "You better not bring no white girl home." That was very clear. You know, but the people were very serious. And so that is a mindset that is.
Yeah, and Tatum couldn't wrap his head around the fact that Nick Fuentes wanted to bring a white girl home. He said that was racist.
It started at childhood. We're not raising our daughter like that. She goes to a predominantly white school. She has a lot of white friends. We don't teach her that way, so she doesn't really see color. Because when children are brought up, they're taught racism. They're taught, you are, and that's why I fought so hard against CRT, which is all of it is.
Go ahead.
Goes together. CRT, systematic racism, white supremacy. All of it is an ideology of black supremacy. I call it.
What the fuck? What? Say that again.
So hard against CRT, which is all of it goes together. CRT, systematic racism, white supremacy. All of it is an ideology of black supremacy.
White supremacy that came out of Britain is somehow black supremacy. CRT, which was created by a white think tank, is somehow black supremacy. What was that other thing you said?
I fought so hard against CRT, which is all of it goes together. CRT, systematic racism, white supremacy.
Systematic racism is black supremacy. But you in that other video said that what the Senate did with Clarence Thomas, that was real systemic racism. How did black people stop him from becoming Supreme Court justice? We didn't tell them to go bring Anita Hill in. Okay.
All of it is an ideology of black supremacy. I call it black supremacy. It all flows from the same head, right? I'm black. I'm oppressed. The white man is the problem for everything that I have in my life. And that mindset has been passed on from grandmother, from probably civil rights times, to mom. Mom then takes that mindset of why she wasn't successful, or why she is a single mom, and she somehow has blamed that. Like, my mom, I love her, but she blames white people for everything, right?
Well, let's see. Your mama lived in a different time. Maybe that had a lot to do with it. Your mama was around when black Americans were getting shot with water hoses and having dogs sicked on them and having their children thrown into ponds with alligators. Yeah, I think, she should have that. She should be allowed to feel like that. Remember, y'all black conservatives and your white counterparts be the same ones telling us, yeah, we know times were bad back then, but it's not now. Get over it. Yet you're still seeing black people get lynched. You just had that story down here in Georgia with the young man who had his organs taken out and wrapped up in a mat. They still don't know who did it. The chick that went to the sleepover, they still haven't found her. And she still hasn't had her killers prosecuted. That Jamaican that ran, where Montana to go hunting with the white folk and he got shot. Micaiah Bryant. We can keep going, sir. Just because you got some white friends don't mean that this country is okay.
She'll do something that's against the law, or she'll do something she shouldn't be doing, and it's the white man's problem. It's the fact that she lives.
Damn.
It's their fault. Do something that she shouldn't, but she blames white people for everything, right? She'll do something that's against the law, or she'll do something that she shouldn't be doing, and it's the white man's problem. It's the fact that she lives in a Republican state. It's their fault. And I talk to her about this stuff all the time. It's against the law, or she'll do something that she shouldn't be doing for everything, right? She'll do something that's against the law, or she'll do something that she shouldn't be doing, and it's the.
Damn, you threw your mama under the bus. Damn. Well, to be fair, Wallow J. Sade Robinson was killed in Mexico. Be fair. That wasn't here.
The white man's problem is the fact that she lives in a Republican state. It's their problem. It's their fault. And and I talk to her about this stuff all the time.
Nigga, you live in a city where they punched a black man in the face and you assholes defended it.
But that's a mindset. It's a stronghold in the mind. And so the way you break that, again, is I realized that when I became a Christian, I voted Republican for the first time. I voted for Mitt Romney. I did not care for Mitt Romney, but I just knew that I could not vote for Barack because his values were against, and I was the first person, I believe I'm the first person in my family to ever vote Republican. I believe that the worst of two evils, and I still believe that regardless of any politics. I don't believe the Republican Party is perfect. I don't believe that there are not people who are racist in both parties, right? But I believe that my values line more aligned with that of the Republicans on a policy basis. And I try to explain that to black people. They can't get away.
Nigga, you could just be independent. You didn't have to go sign up with the Republicans. And look at the white man sitting there grinning. Family, this is a buck breaking in pre-recorded times. You could have just signed up, no political affiliation, and just said, I choose to vote Republican because they're more aligned with my values. There you go. You wanted to be part of something.
Wait, they can't differentiate between policy and personality, right? So I had a black man talking to me, how dare you call yourself black? And they started talking about how horrible of a person Trump was. And I'm trying to explain to them, which I don't think Trump is a horrible person. But
I'm sure you don't.
With all you think about Trump, right? Whatever that is, can we get away from him as a person and focus on policy? He can do it.
Hey, Explore America, you better stop. Them Italians gonna come see you. Them Romanians, Melania people finna come see you. You better stop. They gonna come over here with that Russian talk. They gonna stick Zangief on your ass. You better stop.
So there's this mindset that Republicans are evil because they're racist. So any policy they have, it doesn't matter, right? So the entire reason you're voting is based off of one party issue. The only reason you're voting is based off race. That's it. You don't.
What do you think Republicans vote on? Oops. The Republican Party has divulged into a one policy issue. How can we fuck over black people? The Democrats, their policy has become one. How do we fuck over black people? When we're not trying to exploit them. But you're on the Republican side, so you don't see it. I know what he's doing. He's trying to get to that next TPUSA conference. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get to CPAC. And CPAC finna be lit next year because it's midterms. He's trying to replace Pastor Sewell from Michigan. He's trying to do that.
You don't care about crime. You don't care about your Christian faith. You don't care about abortion. You don't care about...
This fool said we don't care about crime. Yet black gun ownership went up over 500% since the pandemic, but we don't care about crime. We out here teaching the kids the laws, but we don't care about crime. Okay. All right. Y'all were just putting up videos the other day of DC people that happen to be black saying how great it is that Trump supposedly cleaned up DC and he's on his way to Chicago. You got videos of Chicago people saying, I'm glad Trump is sending National Guard up here, but we don't care about crime, right? Can't even keep their lives straight.
Trans going too far with the trans rights stuff. You don't care about any of that stuff. Education.
Here we go.
You don't care about crime. You don't care about your Christian faith. You don't care about abortion. You don't care about trans going too far with the trans rights stuff. You don't care about any of that stuff. Education, kids can't read. None of that, school choice, none of that is important.
Sir, most of the country that can't read are in red states. Huh.
only issue that 70% of black voters.
Yes, Lollipapa. Yes, he threw his mama under the bus. You got to speed up.
Because they're all racist. And even Jasmine Crockett just said that. All Republicans are racist. And they keep saying it over and over because it's brainwashing. If I keep saying something over and over and over and over again, then black voters, a lot of them are low propensity voters. They're low IQ voters. I'm sorry.
That means you. Jesus Christ. Sir, you said nothing, one thing political here except a talking point. And you just showed us how low vibrational and how low thinking you are. You keep bringing up Jasmine Crockett. Most black people don't fuck with her. She ran her course. But go ahead.
Not that they're stupid, because there's a lot of very intelligent black people, very intelligent black women. But as far as the way they vote, they're low IQ voters. They don't vote based off doing their own research. They vote based.
Nigga, we did our whole research last year and changed the lexicon. We changed the way people vote in this country. We told folk in 2023, we vote in the couch. You had MSNBC, the Democrat network, bring that up. Then Fox News brought it up. Then CNN brought it up. They were scared that black people were not going to show up. Black people were so not going to show up to them polls. Trump showed up in the Bronx. Kamala Harris came out with a bullshit agenda for black men. But you're right, we're low IQ voters. You have folks you had black people all over the country engaging in politics. Whether it was what I just mentioned, delineation, the damn economy, worried about how their kids were going to pay for school going forward in the future, but we're low IQ voters. Okay. And it's just funny, you call us low IQ voters, but we're seems to be the only voting bloc that them idiots always focus on every 2 years. How low information were them folk in that cigar bar down here when Byron Donald showed up? How low IQ was that minister over there in Cincinnati giving Vivek that work at that town hall?
Stop what they're told from the people in power. And the people in power, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, people say that they're racist.
Yeah, the same Barack Obama that gets no motion in our spaces now. That same Barack Obama? All right.
So, it's a whole subject. I'm actually trying to work on a book on it right now.
A book?
I'm writing and I'm finishing, but it goes into all that.
A book?
It needs to be, because a lot of people that are Caucasian,
here we go.
They don't understand it, right? They're like, this makes no sense.
This Negro is about to write a book to help white people understand black folks. You can't make this up. Nigga gonna put out a whole picture book to try to explain to white folk how we move, knowing that every day we change it up.
This is why these people do not, like, no matter what, they're gonna vote Democrat. They no matter what, they're bringing up race. And so,
what was interesting. And, I understand, this is a very complex subject, and I understand there's a lot of nuance. Okay, I'm not trying to ever oversimplify anything. But you did
it earlier.
I don't know if you remember. You probably remember. Trump gained a lot of black support after he got his mugshot.
And where's Black MAGA today? Where are they? I'll let anybody in the chat answer that question. Where is Black MAGA today? They put out the T-shirts. They were waiting for that man after he got booked in the jail down here in Atlanta. Where they at now? The white conservatives, they took the mugshot. They don't even use it no more. Only the bots use it. Andrea Lawrence, you should know the answer to that question. They don't like y'all. Especially them conservatives. They don't like y'all. Every time a woman says something that actually makes people think, here come the men on the right to go attack them. They call Marjorie Taylor Greene a traitor to MAGA because she said, how do you put out this bill and the states can't regulate AI for a decade? That's all she said. That's all the question she was asking. Why are you taking away states' rights from regulating AI? They turned on her.
And I thought the mugshot was cool. Like, don't get me wrong, I thought that was cool. But I already liked Trump. Like, I should say, you know, I already planned on supporting him. You didn't need to convince me otherwise.
Of course.
I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris. But what do you think it means that Trump gained a lot of support after he got a mugshot from the black community?
Well, I tell people all the time that black people glorify criminality. Right?
And there it is. We glorify criminality. Keep going.
And it's just true. And a lot of
Nigga, that would include you because you said your mama was a whole criminal.
things they hate me for saying, right? They think it's a betrayal of my race. But I believe if I don't bring it to light, then we can't change, right? There are people that make content about Black America to get viral and to do those things. That's not me. I really do it to help.
How is it helping when you had to do constant videos explaining why you got fired when you could have just done it in a 10-minute video? What was the point of you doing all that just to create? I want to see something real fast. When did you create your Twitter page? You created this shit last year. Six months before the election, you created this. But you're trying to help. Got it.
Because Candace Owens helped me back before she,
He bypassed all those supposed Black Republican thinkers and Black conservative thinkers like they Emperor God Coon, Thomas Sowell, to go say, Candace Owens, help me. That's the first name you brought up, Candace Owens. And now, as I told y'all multiple times today, they hate women. Look what he's about to do.
People that make content about Black America to get viral and to do those things. That's not me. I really do it to help. Because Candace Owens helped me back before she, old Candace Owens.
You could have left that part out. You had to throw her under the bus, huh? Damn.
People like her, listening to her on PragerU, listening to people.
But you worried about indoctrination from the left when Dennis Prager admitted that PragerU was indoctrination. Okay, keep going.
Like, Byron Donalds and people that are Black conservatives.
Oh my God, Byron Donalds helped you? He can't even help himself. He's losing polls to a candidate that's not even a candidate. He has a governor of the state where he is a representative from, throwing him under the bus every chance he gets. Florida is not going to vote for this man if he makes it past the primary. And for his sake, he better hope he wins the primary.
It really shifted my thinking. I was a part of Lexit for years when I first got into politics. So that conservatism, black conservatism, got in my mind. Thomas, what's his name? Thomas Sowell. Yeah, these guys. I read that, listened to their stuff, and it just. And so,
good, you read his stuff. Tell us about his economic policies.
So, black people glorify gang violence. I tell people all the time I make posts.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh out loud like that. We glorify gang violence, sir. How many movies have they done on Al Capone? How many movies have they done on the IRA? American History X is one of the greatest movies ever created. What is it about? A gang of white supremacists. How many movies and TV shows have they created about the police? The biggest gang in the world. The fuck? This is hilarious. Thank you, John Gotti. Goodfellas. The fuck is you talking about? Steven Seagal did a whole movie called Alpha Justice where he went after a gang that killed his partner. Come on, dude. America loves gangs, not just black people. Jackie Chan, stay going after triads. Oh boy. I get it. Snowfall was a hit. I get it. The Wire was a hit. I get it. I guess you forgot about Boardwalk Empire. Let me be quiet.
It's easier to be a rapper, a Sexy Red, than it is to be a black Republican.
The fuck? I thought Sexy... What? It's easier to be a rapper? You sure? Because we knocking off these fake-ass rappers off the board every day. Huh? And you see how he brought up Sexy Red? He could have brought up any one of the MAGA rappers. He brought up Sexy Red. Where the fuck is Sexy Red anyway?
Can be a drug dealer. You can be. There's a guy in our culture called King Von. I don't know if you remember him. You heard of him.
Oh my God! Here we
King
go.
Von. He was a famous black rapper, right? He was a serial killer. They literally called the black rapper serial killer. He was known. He put in his music. He killed 30 people, probably 20 or 30 people. He would put their names in his videos, and he was killed himself. But he was a young guy from Chicago, and he was worshipped by black culture, right? He was
What the fuck are you talking about? Black culture. I know y'all in here. Black culture. Did y'all worship King Von? I'll tell y'all the truth. I've never heard a King Von song a day in my life. King Von. By the way, Mr. Wells, is that why King Von was so popular? They started doing drill country and trap country? Or that was just a normal progression of country music?
worshipped by black community. There's a guy named Charleston White who follows me. He's famous for calling out black insanity. And
This nigga said Charleston White follows me. The government agent. Keep going.
Said that how can a culture hate people like the black culture hates Clarence Thomas? Just think about it.
Negro. And Charleston White is also the same one who went on there and said white people are the dumbest people on earth. He's a fucking troll. He's the same one that went to a Houston city council meeting and was advocating for black folks. The man is a troll. And you black conservatives keep propping this man up. Y'all not beating these cold allegations, for real.
That they don't respect Clarence Thomas. They call him Uncle Thomas.
And since y'all say y'all don't like criminals, y'all praise that nigga Kingface, and he was giving chicks HIV. Oh, we're not gonna talk about that though, right? Okay. Everybody loved Kingface in MAGA until they found out he died, and everybody was R.I.P. that man till they found out he damn near pulled a Chris Benoit and was giving chicks the HIV. Then y'all don't talk about Kingface no more. Huh.
Cool. Now this is a man that broke so many barriers for blacks, right? Not just
What barrier did this nigga break? Mr. Wells, he wasn't the first black Supreme Court justice. You dickhead. Because I know that's where he's going with it. And the white man sitting there nodding his head like he telling them something correct. Why don't you black conservatives bring up Thurgood Marshall one time? Oh, that's not cool, right? Oh, okay.
and this is a man that broke so many barriers for blacks, right? Not just a Republican. Forget a Republican. He really experienced racism. Like his confirmation.
Thurgood Marshall didn't experience racism, family. That's what he said. Thurgood Marshall did not experience racism. Huh. I'm learning something new.
Here was so controversial because he was a black man. That was real systematic racism he was up against, right? But yet they think he's a cool.
No, Negro. People were cheering Clarence Thomas because he was giving Biden the blues. And Black America at that time knew what they were doing. They were trying to discredit that man. He been a coon. He just knew how to play the game in that little bit of a time period. And as soon as he got the power, he became a coon. Just because you do some positive things does not automatically say you're not a coon no more.
Who really experienced racism, like real racism, like the only black surgeon in his field at the time, right? Neurosurgeon. Like,
huh? Wait.
Because he was a black man. That was real systematic racism he was up against. Right? But yet they think he's a cool. People like Ben Carson, who really experienced racism, like real racism. Like the only black surgeon in his field at the time, right? Neurosurgeon. Like these are people that really experienced racism. But yet the black community do not respect them. I think
nigga, we respected Ben Carson until he started cooning. Listen, we're not like the white community. We don't celebrate our traitors. Haven't you noticed when Nelson Mandela's Real History came out, people don't talk about him no more? But he writing a book on black people so he could teach.
what they think about him, they don't like him. They don't have any respect for Clarence Thomas. They even call Clarence Thompson as a slur, right? He's a slur. The first black man, one of the first black men.
We have never used Clarence Thomas as a slur. Okay.
This guy's a legend. It's just not just as a black man, but as an American, right? But he's a slur. So that is why Trump gained support. There was a lot of black men that supported him for other good reasons, but a lot of black people supported him because of those reasons.
Watch this. Hey, Andrew, so tell me, since we're the only ones that's wrong for not celebrating our traitors, tell me when Benedict Arnold Day is in this country. When's his birthday, and how come America how come they don't celebrate it? Why are we lauding over the people that killed Jesus? Seems to me every culture on this earth does not celebrate their traitors. What do you mean, why would he celebrate a man? This nigga just told us that we celebrate all our criminals. I retorted and said, yeah, just like white people. Y'all make whole movies and TV shows for your criminals and documentary series for your criminals. And you do it openly. Sir, you need to go tell your community to stop celebrating people.
Good, man, and it's something that I'm very passionate about because, you know, I don't believe it's healthy, man, and I don't, and I mean, in this job, it's just another experience of that, and it made me more passionate.
Okay, like who? Did Netflix not come out with a series last year on Jeffrey Dahmer? Is there not? You can go on YouTube right now, look up documentaries on Scott Peterson. You can look up Jodi Arias. Charlize Theron got a fucking Oscar for playing a serial killer in Florida. You're right. They don't celebrate people. You're right.
To do what I'm doing, because I thought about it. I really did. That's why people ask, like, why you just didn't leave right there? Because I thought about, you know, taking it down. But
what do you mean? Where did Iran get the money for those nukes? Us. Specifically Trump. 2018. Go look it up.
But I chose to stand. It didn't cost me a lot of money. You know, I mean, I was getting paid great money.
I get paid great money. That's what he said.
With my little side business that I do with contracting with schools. But I would rather
substitute teaching,
because I'm very passionate about what I'm saying, and I believe.
Wrong, sir. Obama signed the legislation. Trump affected it, sir. Go look it up. Thank you so much.
People like me and others are the key to the black community's liberation.
That's beautiful, man. I want to praise you for your boldness, because it is not easy to speak the truth when people are against you. And, you know, I learned this recently with what I went through, but, you know, you're standing on more than just a couple things here. You know, you are standing for the truth. And that is sacred ground. Like, it's an honor to stand for the truth. And
he doesn't even realize that white man playing him in his face.
And there are people who might not be vocal about it. You might not even know they're watching you, but it might just be that touch point that they need. And I think ultimately, politics, partisanship, it's not enough to change the culture. I really think that it needs to be a...
Let me help you, sir. There you go. I know, what was it, Miss Nisi blocked your dumb ass. There you are. Newsweek 2023. How Donald Trump's oil waiver gave Iran $6 billion. Oops.
Excuse me. It needs to be something that can provide an entire moral framework. And that's going to be Christianity. It has to be. The only way where people can put aside their hate or the desire they have to just not like a certain group, it has to be submitted to King Jesus. It has to be. Like, we have, like, everybody is bringing biases to the table. Like, we all are. And, for us to, like, truly cohabitate and to partner as citizens, we all have to submit to the same thing.
Wrong, because even y'all's slave manual didn't even say that. Oops. Here comes the fake Christianity. The Hebrews and the Egyptians did not get along. and God let them sort it out.
The idea of America, our Constitution, like.
Okay, Pure Precision, you're right. Newsweek is bullshit, yet they lean to the right. Oops. But it's bullshit, right? Okay. It's bullshit, right? Off topic. Okay, here we go. The accusation, which has been dismissed by Secretary of State Antony Blinken and the White House National Security Council, said the Biden administration's decision to free up $6 billion in frozen money so it can be moved from countries such as South Korea allowed Iran, a supporter of the Islamic militant group, to help Hamas orchestrate the attack. However, the frozen $6 billion had originated in a decision made by Donald Trump during his time in the White House. In 2018, Trump granted 8 countries, including South Korea, a waiver that allowed them to continue purchasing oil from Iran, even after the U.S. imposed sanctions on the Gulf nation after Trump abandoned the Iran nuclear deal, as he took a much tougher line against Tehran than predecessor Barack Obama. Right. But I'm lying. Y'all know what to do with them. Newsweek doesn't lean to the right. That's what he said. Okay. Okay. Now, after I prove you wrong again, they know what to do with you. Let's see. I'm going to let this play.
Those are great, but we have to submit to something even greater than that, because we can argue about the Constitution, and we will. But for a people, and I believe American is a people now, right? Like, I heard this term, American ethnogenesis, right? This country started with...
Editorially, they moved to the right. They tried to be balanced. There's still a reasonable balance on the op-ed page, but clearly more favor the right as of this review.
With settlers coming, largely from Europe, and they settled, and a new country was formed, and it was people from fleeing or trying to find, free themselves from persecution, and through that, a new people has been formed. And, there's people who will disagree. People always say we're a country of immigrants. We are not a country of immigrants anymore. We are a new people. We carry a new mindset. We carry a lot of the same ideals that the founding fathers tried to lay down. We have this resistance towards constraints, and we are, pioneers. We take risks, but we have to submit. I think the key to the unity is submission. We have to submit to one idea, and that idea needs to be Christianity. It's what
wrong. This is not a Christian nation, sir. I don't know why y'all keep thinking that. I'm gonna let y'all have y'all delusions, though.
What binded us in the beginning, it's what's going to bind us now. It's what's going to transcend this hyper fixation on race, and we can still appreciate culture from within.
Wrong. Y'all need the race argument to make money. And y'all belittle everybody's culture anyway. So it doesn't matter at that point.
That idea, right? Like, there is something about the black spirit, the black soul, that
Here we go.
I absolutely love it. Do you know Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson from North Carolina? I love that man. Like, one of his famous videos that...
Oh, God. The alley-oop to the slam that clanks off the rim. That motherfucker brought up Mark Robinson as the arbiter of the spirit of black people. Where is that motherfucker now? Where he at? He can't even sniff a podcast right now. That motherfucker stand. Oh my God. He said, I love that man. This is hilarious.
That went totally viral. And
oh, man. Jaded Senior, we're not Democrats. So come with a better argument.
and he's talking about that there's two genders.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen that clip. It is amazing. Like he starts off, he's like, ain't but two genders, and he like, and he just goes off on this tangent, and like the spirit and the cadence and the voice he uses to deliver it.
Thank you, Yasuke, over there in gay forums.
I never speak that way, right? So his message, like his spirit, his soul, is a vehicle to deliver a message. Which, if I tried to do that same thing, it would not get across, right? And like that's what I think. Like the redeemed black spirit is a powerful tool.
The redeemed black spirit. Redeemed. Damn. Keep going.
Powerful tool, and like to see it used in a righteous way, like Mark Robinson. Like I get emotional thinking about it.
Oh Lord, he's gonna start crying over a big black man who was in sex chat rooms.
And I love it, and like he delivered a powerful truth. I should put that video in the section here, but like I can get on board with that mission. Like it's slightly different culturally from like what I'm used to, but like.
And that's what about Mark Robinson, man. That shows you.
Sir, we're not on the left. Damn. Come with a better argument, sir.
What we're fighting against in the black community. Because I was a preacher, I was not interested in politics, and I paid a heavy price in preaching for politics, but God is helping.
Separation of church and state, sir. Wait a minute. Weren't you on the right getting pissed off at Hillary Clinton for going to black churches? Y'all get pissed at Democrats for always showing up at black churches. We get pissed off too. They just did a pander. But you see Trump in a church, y'all want to praise it? There has to be a separation, sir. That's what your founding fathers put up, a separation of church and state. Because they know when they start mixing, that's when you have problems, which is what we're seeing in 2025 with MAGA, trying to throw out Christianity behind their bullshit. It's got to be one way. Either you're going to politic or you're going to be religious. It can't be both. Charlie Kirk put up a post yesterday talking about, the birth rates are going down, but conservatives are still having kids. We're going to outbreed the left. What the fuck? Why is that something that you should be bragging about? Okay.
Elevated be another area, right? You know, there are people I could reach in politics I never could reach, like with preaching, and so I thank God for that. Our numbers when we had before they shut it down on TikTok twice, but we had like 29 million views. One of our views before the election was like we did a video on Kamala. It was like 20 million people saw it, right? So we've had this success with virality.
I thought you were helping, so views shouldn't matter. Huh.
We could have had doing probably ministry in itself. But I look at my politics as ministry, you know what I mean? So, but Mark Robinson should have won. The reason he didn't, there was two reasons he didn't win. The reason he didn't win is because they know they wrote a horrible piece about him that CNN, because they don't like black people. They only like them when they can use them, right?
Oh, so Mark Robinson saying what he was saying outside, that didn't contribute to him losing. Oh, okay. All right.
I tell people the Republicans and the Democrats, the Republican policies are better for black people, right? But Republicans just don't know how to reach black people.
You mean Republicans and conservatives, because since you want to say they're not different, you mean the same ones now talking about gun control? Because of what happened in Minnesota, they're over there on their platforms talking about gun control? I thought y'all were anti-gun control. And we know y'all are lying, because how come all you Republicans and conservatives haven't gotten Dexter Taylor out of jail yet? You got that man sitting down doing 10 years for creating ghost guns in his house. Didn't sell them. Okay.
I tell people that's the biggest issue, right? Democrats know how to reach black people, but the wrong way, right? They manipulate the pain of black people for their own personal use. And the moment you change,
Yeah, because MAGA didn't do that. The GOP didn't do that, right? When they shut down the minority program, right? They didn't. Right. Okay. All right. Yeah. The same Democrats you want to land base, bringing in rappers and all these entertainers, y'all motherfuckers literally brought in Amber Rose. Y'all were sitting there kissing Kanye's ass. Y'all got mad at Kai Cenat because he said that he ain't want to get into politics. Okay.
parties or change on them, they hate you. Right? Mark Robinson is an example of that. Now, North Carolina is a predominantly black state. There's a lot of black people in those cities, right? Mark Robinson got a very small percentage of the black vote. Now, you would think the first black governor, a Christian man, right? This is a man who, you read it, beats Christianity, man of faith. The black church did not even vote for him because of his party.
Why should they?
That's it. If he was Democrat, they would have voted for him. But because of just his party, they wouldn't even vote for him. So, I'm going to always champion that, but I'm on a mission. And it's to get us to see that black supremacy is not the way. And that's why I'm sitting here talking to you. Because the black community hates their own when they choose to speak out. When they choose to say, I'm not going to be a victim, right? I told my boss, I'm not going to be a victim.
Nigga, you are a victim. You put up a gifts and go. You're literally begging people for money. That's victim mentality. Y'all love to say that black people are eating off the welfare system, but you're literally sitting here begging people for money. Let's move on.
You believe why it would be different in the black community? Like these are like laws of nature that God has put into people, and so we need to stop thinking of it as like, oh, this is gonna be good for black people. Like, how about it's just restoring what God's vision for humanity was: one father, one mother, submitted to Christ, and I think that alleviates like 90% of problems.
Wrong.
And we can still acknowledge culture, right? Like God, there's a reason why people are different races. If God wanted everybody to be the same, He would have made us all the same, right? But it has to be our submission to God that's going to unite us. And so I want to get back to kind of your situation. So what is on the horizon for you? So, like, are you going to fight this? Let me ask you this. What do the students think about your dismissal?
Well, I didn't get to say bye to my students. It was very heartbreaking, and I had a hard day with that. But my goal is to turn this into a situation where, to be honest, man, I'm on a mission to really just get my story out there, really, because it's a bigger issue, right? While we have a Republican president, while we have a Republican, Florida is very red, right? I would love this to get to the governor. I would love this. A lot of people have posted his information, not so anything can be done through school, because it's very hard to do things to the school because they're private school, right? And so one thing that can be done, though, which I filed some stuff with the EOC, we are working on some things. We are looking into legal things. But besides that, I don't want my job back because I don't want to work for a school like that, right? Who wants to work for a school with those type of toxic environments? And I'm a very qualified teacher. I can get another teaching job. And there's a lot of need out there. But I want to turn this into a conversation. We need, and I know some people disagree with this, but I believe that political belief system needs to be added to our protected statuses in this.
Oh, God. How many times we got to explain this to you, sir? There's no such thing as a political status. The fuck? And you're already protected because that's not public knowledge. Unless you tell them. This fool wants conservatives to be on a protected class. Oh boy. I tell you, I don't know, fam. I don't know. Y'all tell me, y'all want me to stop? Because I got to head to work. Y'all want me to stop? This is like, what, another 13 minutes? I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I want him to explain to us what he's saying as a conservative that's not protected speech. Okay. As a goth, what can you say as a conservative that's not protected? Go ahead. Oh, you disagree with him. My fault. Well, he said it earlier. The first time he voted for Mitt Romney. I want to know who he was around. Well, ASAP, social media is not protected. It's protected for the publisher, not for you. Because remember, they could ban you. But, all right, since nobody answered, I only saw one person say, good, David Todd Singleton, you guys won everything and you're going to be the reason why we lose everything. But anyway, I'm going to work because I don't think y'all want to hear. What was that other section he said? Navigating employment in a politicized education system. Boy, call for boldness and truth and adversity. Boy, you better get on. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to work. Hopefully you learned something. If you did, I done my job. If not, I'll try to be better next time. I'll see y'all tomorrow. We're going to go over that Amanda Seals piece. And we may even hop on the gaming channel. So there's that. Just look up Cooking and Controllers with a Z. And we'll see you over there tomorrow. All right, y'all. Y'all take care. Stay safe. And you know what to do when the agents of chaos come to mess up your existence.